Welcome to the season finale.
Yeah, this is our last episode, guys. We've decided that we're not pulling the numbers that we thought we would, and we're calling it a day.
I haven't even looked at the numbers, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because you don't watch our podcast.
I do. I listen to it.
Jake hasn't listened. He hasn't listened to any of them, really.
Yes, I have.
It's worrying that you don't listen to them.
I do. I listen
while
to it
editing them. What if I say something and I'm like, "Hey, can you cut that out?"
Oh, well, then I would cut it out.
Or what if maybe I rely on you to
don't
feed through?
Do not, because I'm not going to do that.
Well,
anything we say or do on this podcast goes through, unless you specifically ask me to cut that out.
Oh, that's a little bit dangerous.
Even then, if I don't think it needs to, I'm not going to put in that.
I think it's funny. I don't know. I need a little pen and paper so I can start writing down times in the thing and just cut it out.
Cut here, cut there.
No, I was just thinking before we started for our special episode or some shit. Our 100th episode. Yeah. That's right, guys. We're going to 100.
We are. We're gonna keep going.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna stop this.
One of our maybe our 50th episode.
Yeah.
We just do an endless podcast where we just see how far we can go, and we do it
a live stream.
But it just keeps going. We have a 36-hour podcast.
Down. To see when
how far we can go.
That would be so good.
Yes.
And then
and whoever watches it from start to finish gets a prize.
Yeah. First, whoever watches it first, start to finish, gets a prize. What prize?
to prove that you've watched it.
You get to be a guest on the podcast.
Yeah, you can be our first guest.
Everyone's literally been asking me. It's are you gonna have guests? And I'm like, yeah, but not you. Bitch.
I was about to say, what? We should do
what can you bring to the table?
We can audition guests.
Yeah, hell yeah. Have you had people come up to you and ask to help?
No, my friends aren't that helpful to me.
Well, my friends are your friends.
No,
maybe not.
No one's come up to me and be like, "Oh, what can I do?"
Yeah, a couple of people have actually come up to me and asked, and so I've got a couple of people which I'll talk about. Actually, that just came to me, so I'll talk about with you after.
Yeah.
Who probably can actually help, when we actually decide to record it. Record when I say record, I mean film, because we want to film it
with the video camera, and we can video camera ourselves.
That's how you do film.
We're gonna use traditional film cameras. We're gonna get a proper IMAX film.
We get Tom to animate it. Stop motion.
It's like that. That's what one I've always wanted to do is I think it's the Ricky Gervais show. He has a radio show or a podcast.
Yeah.
But it's an animated show. I think I was telling you about
it.
Yeah. So what you're listening to is their podcast, but someone's animated a show to it. So it's you're watching a normal cartoon.
Yeah, cool.
With voiceovers, but it's just they've animated the stories they're telling.
Yeah.
It's very cool. It's very funny because
probably very high budgeted as well.
Yeah, very time consuming. I personally don't know how to animate, so
well, I don't have. Even if I did, I don't have that time.
I don't know. I did stop motion in year 9.
Yeah, I did it in Vet IDM.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I actually fucked up in the exam.
What did you have to do? So what is Vet IDM for me and all the people out there who have no idea what it is?
That stands for visual. Oh no, it doesn't.
Oh, there you go. Well done.
Good start. Vet IDM is interactive digital media, and it's pretty much just a lot of things design wise on the computer. So you do Photoshop, you do Illustrator, you do Adobe Flash, you do video editing,
that old guy,
and all that.
That old
and
stuff.
For the exam, for the Flash part, you have to animate. And this is a normal. This is actually this is a short exam.
Yeah.
In comparison to others.
How long was it?
What was it? What are the short ones?
Like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was about that, and we had to not only do all these. They were multiple choice, but they were still questions. You had to think about them, and a couple of short answers as well. And we had to edit a video or stuff like that. Not only do we have to do all that, but we had to animate a bitch. Okay, and when I say a bitch, the one that we got was we had to animate this guy bouncing a basketball. We had to animate the basketball hitting the ground and squishing and bouncing back.
Jesus.
Yeah, I fucked up.
Really?
It was so bad. It was
the fucking basketball turns into a square and fucking flies off the screen.
It did because usually you can do you can go on a path.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot how to do a path. which is like probably one of the easiest things you can do.
You can do that in fucking PowerPoint.
Yeah,
Like...
yeah, but the stress, the pressure,
Ugh.
I was just like, nah, screw it. So I did individual little things, little keyframes.
It was like
here, there, boom, 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 boom. It was like going up and down, and then it finally got in the hoop, and it was like shaking, and I'm like, this ball's got Parkinson's.
Jesus Christ! Fucking doesn't know what it wants to do.
Yeah.
Just like, should I go back? Oh no, there's fucking. No.
I hated that. I had 2 subjects where the exams were just fucked.
What was the other one?
History.
Ah,
and you did that,
fuck.
and you fucking
history. I don't know. Actually,
fucking history, man.
Business was my worst one.
Oh, really? Business was my best.
I shat business.
Really?
Real bad. Yeah, because I left after like half an hour because I hadn't learned a single
business.
There you go. Haven't learned anything apparently.
Right. You're excused.
No, I didn't learn anything in business the entire year. Like nothing. I don't like intrinsic and extrinsic. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motivators.
Yeah. I don't even know what they are. I just know the words. Okay. Like that's the level of like.
You just heard it so many times that you know the words.
I don't know what they mean. I don't have no. So like the business exam, I left after like 30 minutes. I got like a fucking 11 study score in business.
No.
I fucked it. And then
dude, that's fucking shit.
Yeah, I know. And
that's
then
really bad.
And then history, I got like a 14 study score or something.
Which
is real bad because I both of them because you have to remember so many like with history you have to learn like you have to remember like fucking quotes and like historians' views and shit.
Don't
and
do
like
history.
Dates.
Do not fucking do history.
Fucking like on the 3rd of May 1940, bloody Mao said some shit. Like fucking, why would I remember that?
They chose the most obscure. This is why I didn't like history. Is because they chose the most obscure fucking thing for both.
Yeah,
it was like the women. It was like all about like the women's revolution, like the women's rights or whatever.
Yeah,
and it was about Madame Mao.
Yeah,
2 things that like I knew a little bit about a little bit more about the Russia, but Madame Mao, I was like, we fucking spoke about her for like
I know
one lesson, and that was it.
It just shows how much I was relying on me bullshitting my entire exam because this is the worst thing. Our history teachers were sitting outside of the exam,
oh my God, like, go away.
waiting for people to come out so they could talk to everyone who came out. And the first person who came out took their answer book.
Yeah.
So they knew, not the answer book, the question book.
Yeah.
So now they knew what the questions were.
Yeah.
So like I came out and they're like, "Oh, Aaron, what question did you do?" And I was like, "I think I did the second one for Russia." And then they're like, "We didn't learn anything about this." I was like, well, I knew as much as I knew as much about this one as I did about
which
the
is
other question.
Nothing.
So literally, that like every question I bullshitted.
Yeah.
And then like I was like, yeah, good. No, like no one will know. And it turns out like the first question I get asked when I walk out the exam is like, what question did you do by my history teachers and what did you write? Like I'm instantly being marked. Like that's my
don't do that.
That's my favorite thing about doing like tests or anything. Like I know it's gonna be bad, but write how bad it is down. Don't tell it. Don't tell. That's why I hate when like teachers come around and look at what you're writing.
Oh,
like no, I know I'm fucking it up, but I want you to find out later when I'm not here.
Yeah, exactly.
I want you to realize how dumb I am when I'm not in the room.
Don't correct me so I can improve it now.
Exactly. No,
just correct me later, and then I won't improve. But
I just want to read how bad I am. I don't want to have to look at you when you tell me how bad I am.
Yeah, it's all about because they ask the same question. They're like, Jake, which did you? I did the good one. I did like the question.
The one we learnt about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I did that, but like they were like, good, yeah, really good, and I'm like, yeah, I still fucked up. Like, don't good me on this one, guys.
I was like hoping that someone else would like leave just before me, so when they were talking to the teachers, like, oh, what did you do? I'd be like, yeah, the exact same. Like, what was the answer? Yeah, like similar to that, like the same type of deal. And then like not have to fucking.
You know you've done bad, and like in your head you're like, this is shit. But like you don't want to upset your teachers, especially like, well, the teacher I had, because I ditched your class because it's fun.
Yeah,
Miss Bloom, if you're listening.
No, don't call her out my name.
No,
Jesus. No, but
I loved Miss Bloom, but
I just no matter who my teacher was, I wouldn't have learnt anything in like a class. Like history is just not my type of learning.
Neither. I don't know why I
can't remember. bloody. It's just all the dates. I can't remember date by date. It's like, what day in the week did Lenin fucking
You don't even know. You don't even know.
I literally have no. It's all gone. It was out of my head before the exam.
Oh really? Mine, like I memorized stuff and everything like that. And I was okay, but because I chose such obscure things, I didn't know. But as soon as I left, I'm like, thank fuck, out. You're out. You are not getting remembered.
I'm the type of student that through year 12, I never wrote a cheat sheet.
Oh, really?
Like, they give you the option, the ability to write down all the info you might need on a sheet and bring it in. And I was that lazy that I just never got around to doing that. And I still I'm at uni, so...
Exactly.
When people go oh, you don't need an ATAR, I always used to be like, yeah, the people who say you don't need an ATAR are the people who didn't get the ATARs they want.
Yeah.
But, in my situation, I didn't get the ATAR I wanted, and I still got into what I want to do.
Yeah, of course. You need an ATAR, but, you don't need an ATAR. You know what I mean?
Or, I just realized I've been saying it.
I've actually... Okay. I just want to throw this out there. I've improved a lot.
You've actually started going to speech therapy.
This is my speech therapy. Yeah. Say it from time to time, but my God, that first episode, I'm not even going to say it. I said it so many times.
The word we don't
I said the L word.
The L word? Nah, I'm going to try and not say it as much, but...
That's alright.
I don't have that state of mind to think about what I'm saying before I say it. Who does
see,
that?
I don't know. Neither do I usually. I just say shit. And then, I don't know, I'm improving.
What was I talking about?
Shit. No, you don't need an ATAR.
Yeah, that's the one. Sorry. Well, the course I got into, and which was, my first preference, the one I wanted to get into, you needed, you needed a 65... instead of I'm going to say, around. You needed around a 65 ATAR.
Yeah.
To get, that's... You look it up and go, 65 ATAR in. You need a 25 study score in English and, a 20... I'm going to be so self-conscious now this episode. And
I'm
then
so sorry.
Around, a 25 thing in bio or something like that. And, you have to have done a maths. Yeah. That was, the prerequisites for it. I was like...
Well, so for the thing, you needed, 3 subjects.
Yeah, well, I needed an ATAR, and then I needed to do well in English, because you always need to do well in English.
Yeah.
I need to do alright in a science and alright in a maths.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah. And I, the only one out of all those things, so I needed to, tick off, 4 things.
Yeah.
In order to get into this course. The only one I ticked off was the science one.
Yeah.
Bio. That's the only thing I did enough in. All the other ones I did shit. English, didn't get a good enough mark. Didn't get a good enough ATAR.
Yeah.
Got the hiccups. Didn't get legit anything else. And first round, I got, accepted into the course. So, I don't know what happened. Maybe it was, maybe instead of writing 5, they accidentally wrote 6 when they did my ATAR, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's really good," and let me in.
A 9. It's ooh,
wow,
93.
Look at this guy. Gotta get him in there. Turning up and
the bio is probably the science is probably the most important, for especially what you went into.
Yeah,
that's probably the most important thing.
It was. Oh,
about nature and stuff like that.
About nature. It's not about. It's about nature.
About nature.
About trees and dogs. And... No. Yeah, well, yeah, bio. No, but yeah.
But no, you got me.
No, that's what bio is. I wish bio was
What is bio?
It's what happens really, what happens in the really small parts that make up things. So it's cells and DNA.
Oh, yeah. No, that's right.
Cell biology. I think, yeah. That's the tough thing about
I must have done some of that as well, in physics.
Oh, not in physics.
Yeah. We learned physics, man.
What did you learn in physics? That had to do with
a lot of
cells?
Physics. The way I describe physics is it wasn't cells, but it was atoms and shit.
Yeah.
So the way I describe physics is no, it's a lot of, it's just pretty much every single science. The theory from all sciences put into
all your most hated bits from each science rolled into one.
I was so out of place in physics because everyone that did it was so smart, and like they know things. Like Mitch Bruder, he is so smart, and he is so good at physics. Like, shout out to you, man. You good?
Yeah, okay. you dig it.
But they were like, oh, so this is this and this is that, and they would watch videos and it'd be like really quickly, and I would just be like, I'm lost.
I don't know. It's like like I did methods. I had math methods in year 11.
Same.
In the first, I knew I was at a place in transition. Like transition week is when they like introduce you into fucking the class. I was already behind. I literally didn't know how anything worked.
Yeah.
So the whole year, like, luckily I had a teacher that understood. The whole year, my teacher was like, "Yeah, I know you're not going to do this next year. I know you don't want to do this now.
But like, let's see what we
just let other people do it." So I literally would turn up to class to get my name ticked off and then not do anything. Like, I literally sat there and did no work ever. Yeah. Never any work ever, and I fell asleep in my exam.
Yeah, I think where I left methods was, what was that triangle shit?
Trigonometry.
No, no,
I love trigonometry.
Trigonometry is easy.
Trigonometry is my bitch.
I was going really well, and I reckon I could have done methods if I like tried hard enough. But there was one topic that fucked me over, and it was like the one. It was some guy's
circles.
It was like some guy's theorem or something, and it was like started with like it was like 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, and it was like, and it went down.
Oh, was it like that 1 pi, then 2, and then like fucking 2 pi or some shit, and like the different types of triangles and stuff?
I think so, and I just remember.
I'm literally just trying to remember the shapes that he drew on the board because I didn't learn anything.
Yeah, and I just remember the like formula for this like topic or whatever. It was like so long, and like it was literally like 2 lines on my page, and I looked at it. Like this is actually what happened. I stared at it, and I just thought, no, I'm out.
That was when you
tap out. I looked at it and went cross-eyed, and I'm just like, done.
See, that's the thing. That's where I feel like I couldn't have done physics because there's too much of that type of math in it.
Yeah, physics
I can't handle it.
Yeah, like physics wasn't like long equations. It was just like equations that like you could remember, because like you could bring in like cheat sheets and all that shit.
Yeah,
like equations were not the problem. It was about trying to figure out which equation you had to use for that specific like scenario.
Yeah.
It'd be like a balloon is flying up or it's going down, and it's like has like resistance upwards and downwards, and you have to like try and figure out which.
Yeah, that's sort of what like at uni, because I have to my course has some big old name that really doesn't mean anything. I'm literally
don't say that, just say it and be like, yeah, I do that.
No, I'm doing a Bachelor of Animal and Veterinary Biosciences.
Ooh.
Which is literally just my whole time spending trying to learn biology and chemistry, like year 12 biology and chemistry.
Yeah,
but like at a faster
pace. That's still hard though.
I don't know. It's sort of really, it's the speed of it. Like if I had a whole year to learn what I'm learning, fucking like I could get around it.
That's like year 12.
But
though.
What I've learned, because my semester just finished, so I'm off uni for like 2 months. I have exams coming up, but generally I'm off uni for like 2 months.
Yeah.
What I learned in this semester's only like 3 months long. What I learned in this semester in bio is what is more, like what I learned plus more in year 12 for the entire year.
Really?
Like we covered the entire year 12 like syllabus, plus extra, like more stuff that I hadn't learnt before ever.
Yeah. In
like 3 months, where I usually would do it the entire year.
What happened? What would happen if you didn't do biology in year 12? Would you be fucked?
Well, like you can still do it, like get into the course without doing biology.
No, but I'm saying
it would just be, you would be like, the only reason I somehow kept up is because I half knew what they were talking about, so I was just sort of like refreshing.
You were kind of like, that's right.
Whereas, like the person like Ryan, who I did most of my subjects with, because he's doing like a similar course, so we do the same subjects.
Like Sini?
Yeah. So like we do the same. He's in all my lectures and shit.
Okay, cool.
He didn't do bio in year 12 at all.
Yeah.
And he was like, what the fuck is going on? Like he got it. Like he would have, like if I never did bio, he picked it up faster than I would have. Yeah. But like, you know, even at the start of the year, the person's like, who hasn't done year 12 bio here? Or who hasn't done bio? And like a couple of people put up their hands. He's like, this is going to be really hard for you guys, but just try and keep up and ask questions if you need. Let's go. And, like, that was the start of the year, and he just fucking went straight into it. But then you have to think, like, there are mature age students and stuff hanging around. Like, I'm doing chemistry.
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't do chemistry in year 12, so I had to do chemistry foundations, which is, like, the fucking simpleton version of chemistry. But it's fucking hard. And I'm so shit at it.
Yeah.
But, like, in my, like, tutorials and shit, there was, like, this, like, 56-year-old guy who was, like, sitting at the front, like asking questions and stuff. I'm like, you know, unless, you know, he's in chemistry foundation, so he obviously hasn't done chemistry before.
Yeah, well,
but just imagine, like, not going to school for, like, ages and ages, and then coming back and learning, like, I am fresh out of school. I haven't done chemistry, but I'm fresh out of school, and I kind of know some of this.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine not learning anything new for, like, years, and then going to uni and, like, getting fucking forced through this.
I think if you go to uni at that age... That's a midlife crisis.
He was past his midlife. Like, I don't know what he has planned. Like, what new career path do you have planned in your head where you need to go to uni to do chemistry foundations?
What could he do? It might be, I don't know. There's a lot of things that you could do. Is there? I don't know.
Not just chemistry, not foundations.
Yeah.
He literally
Is that all he does? You probably don't know.
He's just in there, but like, yeah,
he's not in any of the
Well, you
other
can't
classes.
just. I don't think you can just go there and do chemistry. Like, hey, I'm doing chemistry classes without an end. Like, we went to school to get our VCE, and I'm doing this to get my bachelor's. Like, you can't just do a class to do it and say I've completed a class in fucking chemistry.
Oh, that's fair enough. I guess, like, yeah. I guess it would be hard. I don't think I could do any of that.
No.
Like,
I don't know. I don't think I can do it either, but I'm doing it. So that's tricky.
I'm gonna be like, I feel like, I don't know. I think the good thing about me is I'm really motivated to start uni next year, which is good because I feel like a lot of people would have the gap year and kind of not.
That's that's the problem that, like, they tell you. Like, if you're doing gap year, do it, enjoy it, but, like, make sure you also have something else going, because there's so many people who be like, having a gap year, I'm relaxing, taking a year off, traveling, you know, all that, and I'm going back into it, and then they like, they've lost their sort of, like, continuous sort of learning. Like, at school, you go to school every day, so you're just used to going there every day. You take a year off, how hard is it going to be going back to school? Like, fuck that.
100%.
So, like, that's good that you're, like, fully like, I can't wait, because
it helps that, like, it's something that, like, I'm not just, like, interested in it, I'm actually, like, passionate about it. Like, if I am not sitting down in the future one-on-one with someone helping them through stuff, then I'm not going to be,
like, happy
doing what I want to do.
So, well, like, that's like me. Like, I'm struggling at uni, and, you know, there's people around me that go to uni just deferring left, right, and center. Like, they're just dropping like flies.
Like flies.
It's
like methods all over again.
Literally, this is the class getting smaller and smaller. But I have nothing else. Like, I have no other interest to do in my life. There's no other job that I want to do. Because I want to be a vet. I want to work with animals. There's nothing else I want to do. Like, there's no, like, oh, I like this, but I also like that. Like, I want to be a vet, and I have nothing else on my mind that I can even think about wanting to do. So, no matter what, the only way I'm going to be leaving uni is if I fail and they kick me out, which is quite a possibility, to be honest. But, like, that's the only way. I have nothing else on, so I'm not dropping out.
Can they kick you out?
Well, if you fail, they'll ask you to do the thing again. They kick you out. It's the only reason I know that they'll kick you out is if, well, not the only reason. There's many reasons, but the only one I've, like, been told, like, consistently is if you plagiarize when you like do
100%,
assignments and stuff. Because
Wikipedia.
Unis have this thing. I don't think I've talked about it in the podcast. Unis have this thing called Turnitin. That's a program that you upload your assignments to, and it's like you can, you know, all your demonstrators will mark your assignment on through that, and it'll come up with, like, all the stats and stuff. But the main thing of Turnitin is it compares. It's a massive database with connected to every single website on the internet. And all the assignments ever handed in at your uni and all the other unis that use it. So if I hand in, say if I put Word document through it.
Yeah.
And each line is one line from somewhere that I've like copy and pasted. Like each sentence, like one sentence is from the center of a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
The other one's from the center of someone else's assignment that they've done 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like each line, it will be able to tell me exactly where each line is from.
Okay.
And it comes up with a similarity report. So if the thing is, if you get over 70% similarity of something else,
yeah,
you have to sit down and talk with your demonstrators and like work out why it's so similar.
Why it's so similar.
Because if you get 100%, you fail instantly. You don't even get to talk about it. You fail the assignment.
Well, that's like word to word, isn't it?
Hmm?
That's pretty much just word to word.
If you get 100% similarity, it means your thing is exactly the same as something else out there.
There's no way.
Yeah. Or like each word in your thing, like there's not a handwritten part in your answer. So yeah, there's like a 3-strike rule. If you plagiarize once, you fail that assignment. If you plagiarize twice, you fail that subject. If you plagiarize 3 times, they kick you out of the whole year.
Well, you just don't plagiarize.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. But
people
like there's like there's like full on like pay to write websites where you like give some like $100 and he'll write your entire essay for you.
Cheap. Pretty good.
Yeah, but
$100 if you've got like I don't know, no time at work. Can't.
I have all the time. I'm just lazy. Like I'll literally like think about it, but I don't know. I've done quite well on my assignments, and I've done them all that morning. Like I woke up, smashed out an entire essay, and then went to uni and handed it in, and I got like 80% of that. So I'm pretty happy. It's so like, fucking no need to waste $100.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
This just brings up the memories of last year.
Yeah.
The English fucking frantic. It was like a when everyone pretty much got in trouble.
Oh,
how shit!
That fucking
were you a part of that
bombshell?
Group?
No, because I'm not.
I wasn't
like
either.
I said, I'm too lazy to even write a cheat sheet. You think I'm
fucking
on it enough to try and cheat? What happened? Do you want to tell the story? Or do you want
All right. So, what happened was that we had a sack. What was the sack on?
What was the sack?
Was it No, not burial rights. That was fucking.
No, it was burial rights.
Was it?
Yes. Because everyone had the quotes, remember? And someone had the book out. It was burial rights.
Burial rights, or was it the movie?
No, it was burial rights.
Okay, so there's a sack on burial rights. Was a book, terrible book,
fucking shit book.
Like honestly.
Oh, I never read it, but shit book.
You just like shit book.
I've heard things.
And literally a lot of people. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I would say.
It's like 20 people. It was not.
Was it more?
Nah, it wasn't that.
What?
It wasn't like half of it. Like it was like 20 people. But
20,
like all through different like classes.
All through different classes. So like 20 people all through different classes. Well, I mean, I don't like to say, but they cheated.
Yeah, what they had on sort of like in amongst their sort of like books and stuff. They had a bunch of quotes from the book, which is like. We're not like, oh, how dare... Like, everyone's like, done that, like, written something on their hand.
100%.
So, we went fast, but it turned into this whole thing.
Yeah. It pretty much turned into this whole thing. I don't know how the teachers found out, but they knew.
Someone ratted.
Someone ratted?
Yeah, I don't think I know who it is. Because I'm obviously not going to say who I think it is.
Oh,
but I'm not fucking naming and shaming.
Yeah, innocent until proven guilty, Aaron.
Like, bloody pitchforks and shit. Yeah. Let's go get him. No, someone
like ratted?
What happened was like the teacher left the room for a bit, and everyone like got out their books and started like looking for like things and stuff. And someone who was like, was obviously had prepared for it.
Yeah.
And was like. Look at all these people like cheating because they haven't been ready. When the teacher came back in or afterwards, they told the teacher that all these people had cheated.
Yeah.
And then it turned into this whole thing that like everyone started. It became like a chain reaction.
Yeah.
Where whoever got ratted on got pissed off and then ratted on other people in like an effort to be like, well, if I'm going down, you're coming down with me. So it was like this massive chain reaction, and then everyone got in trouble, and then it became this huge thing where like...
Don't be that person!
It became this huge thing,
oh
like...
my God.
there was like some close to like 20 people.
Yeah.
All had to sit down with teachers and stuff because it was like a proper sack. It was like a marked end of year, like
this is what you told us to your people.
Sack.
Yeah.
And yeah, like a lot of people were like, "Are we gonna mark your sack? Are we this and that?" Like I have a friend who like got caught up in it, and like he had to sit down with his parents, with a teacher, and they have to like talk about whether he should get a mark or if he should fail the subject and all this shit, and like and then there was talk of like everyone having to resit the sack because it's not fair, or just the people have to resit the sack, and no one gets their marks, or when's the marks coming out? And all this shit, and I got because in my English teacher,
who did you have?
Macquarie.
Oh yeah,
she wasn't fond of me, to say the least.
She didn't like me either.
Because I call it enjoying the class. But she didn't see it that way.
He's a smiling assassin, Aaron.
Yeah. Yeah, so she wasn't that fond of it because I just didn't do any work. And mainly because I didn't do that badly. I was getting beat like C's and B's and stuff. Yeah. Like I wasn't tanking like the class. No. Because I wasn't concentrating and not doing any of the work she gave out and none of that. She was more pissed off that I wasn't failing. Because I had that like I should be failing. This
is good.
Literally like I should be failing.
Yeah.
I'm not. So she was pissed off. But mainly,
I heard English. How hard you like? It's so hard
I can already speak it. Like I don't need to do the class. Like, but
me camera, Aaron.
Yeah, but like because I never did the work and like was always like a slacker.
Yeah.
When that whole like debacle came out of people like cheating and stuff, she came up to me and was like,
"No,"
like talking to me like I cheated.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't cheat.
I'm too lazy to cheat. You know this, Macquarie.
I'm like, I didn't cheat. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, oh, well, like, I heard there was a lot of people in the class, and I'm just, I'm like, was I named by name? And she's like, well, no. I'm like, well, I didn't cheat. So like, it's like, what was it? It's like in year...
I have a similar story as well.
It was Italian, and I never did work in Italian. Oh. In Italian, we had, like, some test. And I was saying before how, like, I didn't revise for it. I had no idea this is coming.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking shit on this. And I got, like, 98% on it because I just, like, somehow bitched through it. And the Italian teacher, found me.
Bitter?
No.
Zakalaka. Zakalaka.
Yeah, who knows where she is. I think she's back at the prison, to be honest. She's a prison guard. She's not, like,
that's scared.
In prison.
She's not.
No, she's a
she might
officer.
Be.
I don't know. We have no idea. We fucking turned her mental. No, but she found me in the schoolyard on the playground.
Yeah. On the playground.
At Little Play, Little Lunch.
I wish.
And at Snack. No, she found me and was like, Aaron, can I talk to you for a second? I was like, yeah, sure. She's like, hey, you seem to go really well on that test. So, are you sure you didn't cheat or anything? Or you had nothing written down? I was like, no, I didn't fucking cheat. Are you kidding? She's like, yeah, well, I'm just thinking because, like, you said you didn't revise, but then you did actually quite well. So I'm just thinking that maybe you just cheated. I was like, bitch, fuck you.
This isn't a prison. This isn't a prison. This is my house.
This is my house, bitch. I think you just thought of it. My family, like, Miss Bitter hates my entire family. Because my oldest brother, who, like, he dropped out at like in year 10 or something, but he went to Warrandyte as well. My oldest brother, and he was like, all the teachers knew Jordan, like fucking Jordan Lee. Like I remember when my brother was going to, like my middle brother was going to Warrandyte, so like a couple of years before Jordan, after Jordan.
Yeah,
they were like, oh, Ryan Lee, are you related to Jordan Lee? And he's like, yeah. They're like, oh, well, I hope you're better than him. Like, they said that to him before he even came to the school.
Yeah.
So, like, so Jordan hated Miss Bitter.
Yeah.
I'm not talking shit on Miss Bitter. I'm just telling stories, okay? Telling stories.
I love
telling stories about how she hates my family. Because Jordan was mucking around in class.
Yeah.
Always sort of just mucking around in class. Yeah. And she hated him. Like, kicked him out all the time. Just fucking yelled at him all the time. Classic. Ryan came. Similar deal. It would have been mucking around in class and stuff. But there was a time where she got really angry at him for talking, and she walked over and hit him with a rolled up like magazine.
Oh, bitch!
Like, oh, you stop talking, blah blah blah. Yeah. And was like not hard. He didn't get hurt, but he thought was like, she can't do that.
Yeah.
So fully milked the situation. Yeah. Went to the principal. Got my mum to call the principal, say that Miss Bitter struck Ryan. all this stuff, and it ended up it sort of amounted to the point where Ryan and my mum had to sit down with the principal at the time and Miss Bitter, and Miss Bitter had to formally apologise to my brother and my brother and my mum for hitting him, and it will never happen again. So then after that, she was always super nice to Ryan.
Yeah.
Never gave him shit, never yelled at him or anything.
Yeah.
Because she almost got sacked. Because of him. And then I came along and I was an asshole in class and never listened.
Oh, damn.
Never did any work.
You'd love to say that again.
She has and she, this is my favorite story. She has a really, really thick Italian accent.
Oh.
And, especially on and I got in trouble once and she was like, I'm calling your mum. I was like, fucking do it. I was, big boy in year 8, bloody,
Yeah.
Fucking big cock over here.
I was the exact opposite. I was just a big pussy. They said that, I would cry. Legit.
Miss Bitter was like, I'm calling your mum. I was like, do it. You wouldn't. I was so up myself. But what happened? She called my mum.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'll do a really shit accent. She's like, hello, is this Mrs. Lee? Started saying hello, is this Mrs. Lee? And my mum thought she was a telemarketer and went, sorry, we're not interested, and hung up on her. So then the next day, Miss Bitter was like, I called your mum, but she must have thought I was someone else and hung up on me, but I'll be sending her an email. I was like,
I love that so much.
So good.
I remember you telling me that story as well.
So funny.
The telemarketer story.
Yeah.
Your mum's the best. Sorry, we're not interested.
Oh, well, because we always get it was she called at the worst time. Miss Bitter called at 6:30. We just started dinner. Time. So my mum literally has no time for anyone around that time. Yeah. So she literally had to just listen to anyone with an accent and was like, I'm not interested, and just fucking hung up the phone.
Yeah, 100%.
So bad.
It reminds me of the story of you and I at Italian. Aaron and I, we've been good buds
from way back.
From way back, especially in Italian. I think that's where our friendship really blossomed.
Yeah, because we had to sit next to each other in year 8. Was it year 8?
I don't know.
Year 7.
Year 7, I think.
It was Miss Bitter, and we had Miss Sakalaris in year 8.
We did.
Yeah. So way back,
way back, at the very beginning.
Yeah.
We clicked, and well, somehow
there was a connection. There was a spark.
There was a bit of a spark.
You can tell the story. It's such a good. So it's going to be hard to paint the picture through sound, through a podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm just excited to hear the story. Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
That's so good. So I don't know what she was telling us off for, but she was telling us off for something. She was looking.
Talking. I'm assuming.
Just talking.
Just chatting.
Just chatting with us.
Have a convo.
Yeah, having a convo. And anyway, she turned around. Aaron and I, without even planning anything, we didn't even look at each other. Nothing was said after she turned around. We both did. How do you even describe it? The up yours.
Yeah, up yours, where you hit your arm into your elbow and your other arm sort of goes up with a fist. The fucking...
Yeah.
The up yours.
The up yours.
At the exact same time. Couldn't have planned it better. Didn't look at each other. Didn't say anything. As soon as she turned around, both with the same arm.
Yeah.
Bang. Boom. Straight. So hard. We looked at each other and pissed ourselves laughing. And this is straight after she told us to stop talking. You two, stop talking. She turns around. There's a second gap. And then we're losing our minds, pissing ourselves laughing.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It was so funny. That was a story I told literally until, now. That was 7 years ago.
There's honestly, there's nothing that I can imagine and remember so clearly in high school, and it was in year 7, and it was
so funny. It's 6 years ago, 7 years ago,
so long ago, and
yet seems like long ago.
It's
so funny.
I love Miss Bitter.
She's a classic. She's good material. There's always
real good material.
So many funny stories coming out of that classroom.
Were you in a class when we were watching a movie and we were in the next period after watching 50 minutes of it, and we kept telling her to go forward, no, back a bit, no, go forward a little bit, go back a bit, and she full flipped out. She grabbed the remote and she slammed it on the table.
I saw that. I remember that because she fucking. It's not our fault that she didn't work out how. We're literally it's 55 minutes. Go to 55. It's fucking 45, 50, 60. Back. We're no, back, forth, back. We didn't want to miss anything. She was just flipping a nut and smashing the remote and was we're not watching it. And fucking just cracked the shit.
Yeah. I don't even think like I think like at the start it was like no forward a bit because it was like 5 minutes ahead or whatever. It got to like 30 seconds behind and we're like just forward a bit. Just a little bit.
Like you can't even move it.
We egged it just a little bit.
It got to the point where like everyone was yelling back a bit, forward a bit. So literally it got to the point where just yelling forward, like back. I was going to be really loud. I just yelled into the mic. But like just yelling and yelling, just do it, like fucking fall back, and just, like we had in year 8, we had her for English, and nothing against her. English is definitely her second language.
Yeah,
and she still has a very thick Italian accent. She speaks Italian at home, I think. Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Speaks Italian at home. Like I don't blame her for not being fully like.
Yeah, it's a second language.
Yeah, like obviously you're gonna have mistakes speaking in a language you weren't born into. But we had her for English, English class, in year 8, and some of it in year 9, like a term of it in year 9. And everyone was like, she's like an Italian teacher. She has a really thick Italian accent. Yeah. I don't doubt she can speak English well, like she's fluent in English.
Yeah,
but not so fluent to have to teach other people English.
Yeah.
So that was a joke to begin with, but. Like
was a big joke, yeah.
That we made, like, oh, she's Italian teacher,
yeah.
English. What? She can't even speak English. And we're in like year 8, so obviously we're gonna fucking go on like that. But like I'm saying, obviously you're gonna make like occasional mistakes in your second language.
Of course.
She was not happy if she did, and someone told her.
Oh yeah,
I would always like if she spelt a word wrong.
I remember a specific word that she spelt wrong as well.
I'm in year 8, so if she spells a word wrong and I know what it's meant to be, that's not good. But, like, especially being an English teacher, but she spells a word wrong and I'm like, excuse me, Miss Bitter, it's actually spelt like this. She cracks the shits and go like, oh, do you want to teach the class, Aaron?
Yeah.
Every time I told her, in the first term, I told her, like, I corrected it like 4 times.
Yeah.
Near the end, I felt like going, I will teach the class. I'll probably have a better chance of doing it than you did.
Exactly. I remember she spelt, what was it? It was Fortnite.
Oh, spelt it like the game or something?
She literally spelt it like the game.
No.
So I just remember that. I think it was you that actually corrected her. And then we like all looked at it in the dictionary and we're like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah, you are.
She's like,
no, you can
I'm pretty sure it's like this. No, Miss Bitter, wrong.
Wrong, you're wrong,
honey.
mate. It's like, she's, the word simile.
Yeah.
I forget what it means, but simile.
Simile, it's like a word that means the same.
2 words that mean the same thing,
but it's spelled differently.
Yeah. So like, what a thesaurus is full of. You know what a thesaurus is?
I do know that.
Yeah. So they're all similar, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she wrote the word simile, and it's spelled Simile. I think simile, like that. But like you pronounce the E. She went simile.
Simile.
And I was like, it's pronounced simile. And then she came back with, no, you can pronounce it either way. I'm like, don't think you can, but
I don't know what a smile is.
I'll let you have it. Like, I'm not here to argue.
Yeah, no. I understand why she could teach the class because like when you learn a second language, like you're learning it like properly. You're not like
you're not
leaving
learning
anything up to
you're learning
you
like
it to be.
the most like stripped back version of English. It's just the language. You don't learn all those like Australian things or American sort of like nuances and slang and sort of all that crap that we say wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, Melbourne.
Yeah.
When there's actually like 3 letters in there that you should pronounce.
Yeah.
But then anytime you hear an American say it, Melbourne, you just want to fucking stab yourself in the ears because it just sounds so bad.
Just wasting so much energy and breath and time
Melbourne, Australia.
pronouncing you.
Australia.
That's why I like
Australia. Emu. Like, oh god. Like literally hearing like it's weird. I saw this thing like hearing an American accent on a show sounds fine, but if you hear one out in public, you just want to fucking dissolve.
Yeah,
literally. You just hear one on the train, just and you just, fucking like, get out of here, get out of this country.
Yeah,
fuck off.
Fuck off, you immigrant.
Fucking immigrant.
No, we're joking. What's wrong?
Getting a call.
Oh, who is it?
Yeah, it's my dad. We're not answering.
Okay.
He's not going to be our second guest.
I was going to say if it's Kate, you got to answer it. But...
Nah, she knows better than that. After the first episode, she's never making that mistake again.
She knows not to call.
No, I'll have to call you back, Father.
Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad. Listen to the podcast, you'll understand. Which I haven't told any of my family where they can come find the podcast. I don't want them listening.
But to be fair, none of my family actually want to listen to it.
Fair enough.
They don't have time, like me.
Oh, yeah.
The Newtons are busy.
You're in it. You think like
I don't need to listen to it, Aaron, when I'm listening to it right now.
Because then I can, when I listen to it, I sort of turn my brain off and sort of listen to it like it's someone else.
Oh, okay. So you legitimately just like enjoy our podcast, which you should. It's good.
Yeah, like if you're just here to like feed your hatred, then leave now.
Yeah.
No.
Tell them when we're like almost finished. Leave now.
Leave now. Thanks for listening, but it's time to go.
No,
because I can then, like, talking now, it's just how I'm talking. But when I listen to it, I can sort of switch it into a different part of my brain, and it feels like I'm listening to two totally different people. Yeah. Like, I'm not just listening to myself. So then I can sort of listen to it from a viewer point of view, and not like I'm listening to my own work.
Yeah.
And then that's when I can sort of go, was it good? Was it not?
Yeah. See, I find myself when I'm listening to it, and I do like what you do.
Especially when you listen to it, when was that, Jack?
Well, when I edit it, I just listen to little bits, like
the start.
Yeah, like the start, like thousands of times. But like, I'm just zoned out, and then I listen to stuff, and then I do find myself giggling. I do find myself laughing.
It's funny. I find myself fucking funny ass.
The accent.
Yeah.
it's the accent.
The accent.
Yeah, it always gets me.
What?
Just our accent, just like hearing
voice.
Because like listen, it's like the inverse, right?
Yeah.
You hear an American voice on the telly, and it's like fine. But in person, it's like what the fuck.
Yeah.
It's like the inverse. It's like hearing
an Australian voice on a show.
It's like what the. It's just like
hearing an Australian voice on a show from a different country is the worst.
I'm like.
Have you ever heard like the new Geordie Shore? Do you watch Geordie Shore?
I wish.
Get it. It's funny.
I watched Jersey Shore with Snooki.
Nah, I like Geordie Shore's just funny. But like the newest season, they filming it in Australia.
Oh,
the
really?
newest one, and they have like Australian people on it. It makes me want to fucking die.
Yeah,
it's just so embarrassing because they try and they're not because the people on the original, like the actual Geordie Shore people, they're like have done it for like a couple of seasons, so they're not like fully acting anymore. Whereas like these new Australians, they're trying so hard to be fucking like edgy and like trashy and shit, and it's just so annoying.
Yeah,
they're just like fucking man, you're in our house now. Like you're just like fuck off.
Yeah,
shut up.
Like I feel like I don't know. Do you reckon they get told to do stuff like that?
Yeah, it's like any reality TV is just like, just you react like you would, but just add in throw the vase at the wall. Just cause. No, what? Yeah. No. Just be angry. Yeah, like, okay, they're going to tell you, like, something. They're going to tell you bad news. Just be angry.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't piss you off, just be angry. I reckon that's what would happen.
I'm watching The Voice at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people have told me, like, The Voice is the worst when it comes to, like, them fucking with things to kind of influence who goes through.
Oh, definitely.
Like, and I've even picked up on something. The people who they don't want Australia to vote for, their voting little tag is not up there for as long as others.
Oh, have you, like, do you vote on it properly?
You don't have to pay, it's just on the app.
Oh, so you just do it?
So like on the TV, you know what it's like, vote for.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching, like, last night, and AP, bless your heart, AP, I loved you, he went home.
Yeah, I did watch that.
His like vote for AP tag was only up there for like
on the app.
No, on the TV.
Oh yeah.
Was only up there for like 3 seconds, and then like some other guy who's like
fucking
everyone
Trent
fucking
or some
loves,
shit.
Like
Troy.
Like everyone wants to suck.
Yeah.
Fuck, so I just went like total angry with this then, but
suck.
Yeah, fucking suck. I mean, the only other anyway.
It's definitely...
They were up there for a lot longer.
It's like, something that's pissed me off so much about The Voice. Whole point of The Voice, this is mainly in the blind auditions, whole point of The Voice is, it's all about The Voice. It's the name of the show.
Yeah.
You know, it's about what they sound like, not what they look like. That's why they turn around and, The Voice is good. And see what they look like. That's a really good premise of a show.
Yeah.
When some hot guy comes on.
Yeah.
And this is sort of like a bit of sexism that goes at men and not from men, and people are going to be like, fucking. Anyway, it is. When
no one's going to watch this.
Fucking, you don't know. When a hot guy is on, some muscly ass guy who can't really sing that well anyway. So when really hot guy goes on,
like Brock.
Yeah, like there was literally one where it's like a hot guy was there and he's saying like shit, not good. No one turned around. So when like at the end of the song, everyone turns around and goes talks to the guy. And like, oh, sorry for not turning around, but like blah blah. As soon as they turn around, all the girls were like, fuck, why didn't I turn around? Look at him, bloody. And for the first 5 minutes, they were just talking about what he looked like.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look how, big muscling man, blah, blah, blah.
100%.
And then just a teeny bit touched on what he sounded like, and then he went. Whereas Just Mentioned was a chick. Like, it was, probably not George, because he's gay, but, like, there was two just guys there. Like, one of the judges, like, Joe and something. Seal fucking... he'll go anything that moves. Like those two guys, like some chick sings, she's really bad, turn around, and just the two guys just keep going about how hot she was and they wish they turned around. How fucking, just imagine the shit that would pop up on a current affair. Yeah. Like the next night, a current affair.
That's what pisses me off. It's like that
voice wars.
Yeah.
Like, fucking.
Like thing in, whatchamacallit, American Idol, and Katy Perry, like, kissed this guy.
Yeah.
And, like, it actually got some heat.
I did because that was when. See, that's another thing. Like that's on the other end of like people going, this is really really bad, and getting offended for someone else. Yeah. Like it was. I think that was the situation where like the guy was like, I've never been kissed before. Yeah, and then she's like, oh, come give me a kiss on the cheek. Like sorry for not turning around. And when he came up, she quickly turned her head and kissed him on the mouth. Yeah. And at the time, it was all like, fucking... Yeah. But then everyone was like, that's sexual assault. You can't just kiss people without them wanting you to, blah, blah, which is true. But everyone was going like, kick Katy, like, Perry off the show. Fuck that, blah, blah, blah. And then the guy who it was about was like, honestly, I don't really mind that much. It's not a problem. I don't care. Yeah. Like, that was the thing. But then, then there's these things where, like, no one's getting pissed off. But when you think about it, if it was the other way around... Yeah. Everyone would get pissed off. I've seen that a couple of times on Voice as well. Yeah. It's like they turn around and they're like, oh, you're so hot. Like, I wish I turned around. And I'm like, yeah. The whole point of the show. The whole point of the show is to not do that. Yeah. Like, the whole point of the show is if their singing is not good enough, you don't turn around. You don't get to go, oh, I wish I turned around now that I know what you look like. Yeah. That's the opposite of what the show is. Yeah, 100%. And that's my main thing is just like, if it was the other way around, because I'm all about fairness on both sides. I don't equality, and this is equality. Okay, this is equality. This is equality. No. Housekeeping. Housekeeping. This is equality because if it was the other way around, if it was some hot ass chick with big tits and a big ass and bloody like looking like a magazine model, front cover shit, like what everyone goes, this is what men want women to look like and all that shit, which isn't true, but like if it was like not me. Well, yeah. True. No, if it was like a big ass, big tits, all that shit, whatever. And, she was really bad at singing and everyone turned around. No one turned around, but like at the end, they all were like, oh, sorry for not turning around. And all the two guys on the judging panel kept going on about, fuck, you're so hot. I wish I turned around. Shit, buddy, look at it. Jeez, I regret not turning around. And they hit the button. Yeah, like, I wish I turned around now that I know what you look like. What a fucking big tits. Like, if they did that, there would be a bloody 60 minutes interview of that judge sitting down and apologizing. Yeah, 100%. It's like, if I remember that fucking, you probably wouldn't, there was like a couple of years ago, there was like a cricketer in the, 2020 league or something, was doing an interview with some chick. And he was just jokingly flirting with her, talking about like, "Oh, can I get your number?" Just like joking. She was like laughing. She was a bit like, embarrassed and I'm gonna say maybe uncomfortable. Yeah. But he was just jokingly flirting, and he wasn't like up against her or anything. And after the interview finished, they just parted ways. He was just joking around. Yeah. He got kicked out of the team or something, and was forced to pay $10,000 in a fine for like harassment or some shit. I'm like, he's just fucking joking around. 100%. It's just I don't know. How long have we been going for? 54 minutes and 14 seconds. I mean, do you want to quickly talk about what you actually wanted to talk about this episode? Yeah. You actually had some things to talk about. I was going to, I planned to talk about this last episode and we got caught up in all this other shit. Yeah. No, I just want to talk about, which one should I talk about?
Whatever's gonna be quicker because we got 6 minutes, not even 5 minutes.
I'll talk about them. You know the movie, The Last Airbender. Actually, no. You know the show.
The show's the OG.
Like Avatar.
Yeah.
The show Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's the show that was good. The movie's fucking trash. M. Night Shyamalan.
Movie's bad.
Fuck off.
Show's good.
Yeah, the show. If you could choose, what element would you be? Would you be earth, wind, water, or fire?
What's the difference? Do they have like personality? Yeah.
Make sure I didn't turn my mic off.
No, you're all
One's
good.
like earth, yeah, like rocks. The other one's water, so you know that like shit in like the ocean and stuff. The other one's fire, you know, like burny ow, burnt myself.
Burny ow, burnt yourself.
Yeah. And then the other one's just air. So which one? If you could, you've seen the show, haven't you?
100%.
I was about to say I would be very disappointed.
No, of course. I love it.
Cracking show.
I love that shit.
But
actually, is it on Netflix? Because you kind of made me like want to.
I really want to watch it now.
Later.
If you could choose,
yeah,
which element would you be?
All right. So process of elimination. First one, air. Okay.
Yeah.
I get really dry lips. Like wind and all that doesn't go well with me. Don't like it. Wind, air, out. Fire, heat cannot do. Like literally cannot do heat. So it leaves 2. Earth and water. I think I just gotta go water.
Water?
Yeah, I would love to be able to like manipulate water. I love water. I love drinking water.
Make people piss themselves and shit. That's what I would do.
Can you do that?
We'll find out. No, I think if I
watch the show.
If I remember the show correctly, I think it was all the fire people are a bit
mean,
spastic and mean and evil.
Oh, you fit right in.
All the water people are like they're like the second biggest sort of kingdom and stuff. They're like, you know, the good guys, but they're a bit like chill and not evil. Yeah, they're a bit
spiritual, like the hippie kind of.
The earth guys are like the fucking, you know, living in like huts and shit, but they're all about like strength and something like that. But then the air ones, they're like, that's where bloody Avatar, what's his name? Fucking arrowhead dude.
Oh, what the fuck? Ash.
That's Pokemon.
Fuck.
I was gonna say Poe, but that's Kung Fu Panda. Fuck, I don't know.
Wait, nah, fuck, I'm not leaving this.
You're looking it up.
Yeah, you can.
No, but like, they're like all extinct, and because he's an airbender, he can actually like bend all the fucking elements and shit. So I'll totally be air, because you could like fuck everything up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say water.
Air or fire, because not because I'm evil, I just think like just fucking around with fire would be like hectic.
Yeah.
Not like to burn shit, but just like fucking.
Yeah. I guess it is
kind of light, and I'm just, you know.
Yeah, it is very like I reckon with fire I would like use it to like meditate a lot.
Yeah, I was literally the only one I wouldn't be is water. The one that you were.
Really?
No, I just it's just boring. Earth I think is fucking sweet, just like flipping rocks at people.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Can you be both?
That's what I'm saying. With air, you can be all of them.
Can you?
Yeah, that's the whole point of the Avatar, that he can bend all the elements.
Oh, yeah, shit. Well, then what the fuck? I'd be air.
Yeah, he's the last airbender.
Yeah, okay.
Jeez.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while. I'm sorry.
Avatar, the last airbender.
I haven't seen it in, like, ages. I'm trying to...
It's got all the... How long does it take to look up what the fucking airbender dude's called?
I have one hand.
Do you want me to do it?
Aang.
That's the one.
I was closer. You said Poe. I said Ash.
Yeah, you were closer.
Aang.
But mine sounds more like Oriental.
Poe. Poe.
Poe. That's fucking Kung Fu
Panda. Now that you say that, and now that because last time I saw Avatar was literally like younger, and I never watched
the show or the movie.
The show.
The movie is fucking shit.
Like I never really watched it like a lot as well. It wasn't a show that I wanted to watch. Yeah,
but every time it was on, I was like, fuck yes.
It was on a lot. See, I wasn't, to be honest with you.
I loved it. It's such a good show.
But now I know things. I know that it is a good show, and I actually would like to watch it.
Such a good show. I gotta try to find it. Like Kate wants me to watch fucking Grey's Anatomy, and I've gotten like through.
So good.
I got into like the 3rd season, and I just like stopped watching it. Not because I didn't like it. I just like stopped watching it, and I need to get back into it. But I'm gonna. She'll be like, "Oh, you want to watch some Greys? You want to watch some Greys?" And I'll be like, "Nah, I'm watching fucking Avatar."
Yeah. Watch Watch The Alienist. Everyone out there.
The Alienist.
The Alienist. It's on Netflix. I've gotten Lewin and Vivian not Vivian because she's doing exams, but I've got Lewin into it. And like I feel like at the start when I was telling them about it, they're like,
What's
maybe
it about?
not. So it's about like a criminal psychologist. It's like the start of criminal psychology, and it's called an alienist because people who were like mental back then were considered like alienated from their true self. And it's pretty much like a crime show, but it's like a deeper thinking. Like it's good.
Oh, that reminds me. Kate's stepdad gave me the most fucked book. It's really, really like if you have
fucked book.
No, like it's a real book of like real things, but it's just fucked. Like it fucking put me in a weird mood for the rest of the day. It's a book. It's this guy from like the 1920s or something. Yeah. He was a crime scene investigator, like a homicide detective.
Yeah.
From like American, like 1920s.
Yeah.
And through his career, he collected photos of crime scene and morgue like things.
Yeah.
So like crime scene photos and like pictures from the morgue and stuff.
Yeah.
And created a scrapbook and wrote down like all the info about it and like collected all these images. I think if I've read correctly, it's like the point is to like show all the like civilians and stuff what like really happens and stuff, like you know, sort of prove that like this is what we go through, like police go through to help you guys and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a book of real photos from crime scenes and like murders and suicides and stuff, and not like blurred or anything. So like you go there's like the suicide chapter, the accidental death chapter, and like the murder chapter.
Yeah.
And just photo after photo with his real writings that
like
he
his
put
like
in.
analysis of it.
Yeah, of like what's happened. Or like there was one of like a double suicide like a murder suicide where a guy shot his girlfriend in the face with a shotgun and then shot himself with the shotgun. And it's just a photo of these two people lying on the floor and they don't have heads.
Yeah.
Like he's like they've like, but it's not blurred. And it's flat. And there's one of like, this is real bad. There's one of like kids who've died, and it's just all like kids and babies. Like dead babies.
Nah, that's
like,
I could not
and
read
like
that.
mums that have like killed their kids because they can't handle being mums, and it's like a baby with a cord wrapped around its neck and fucked. And I read it because he's like, read it, it's fucked. I was like, oh, I'm up for a challenge. Read it, and literally like I didn't want to eat for like the rest of the fucking day.
Yeah, no, I could not read that.
It's such a fucked book.
Maybe I should during the weekend.
Really, it's like really fucked and also really interesting. One of the most crazy photos is this guy got into an accident, like a car accident.
Yeah.
And his head got taken off. But like clean off, and there's a photo of him headless, like you know his body headless, but his head is perfectly sat in the middle of the road. Like,
oh my gosh!
Right? So it looks like he's been buried to the neck. You can't see anything.
Yeah.
So it's just his head with his closed eyes, just sitting in the middle of the road, and then his body's like fucked in some field.
Shit,
that's
man.
Really weird. It looks like he's fallen asleep and he's been buried under to his neck at the beach. That's what I thought it was. I thought someone buried him.
Yeah.
And he died. Turns out it was just his head in the middle of the road. I was like, fuck.
You read the analysis? No, it's just his head.
Yeah, no, it's his head. That's really, that's some really
well, maybe, no, maybe I should.
I don't know. It'll put you in a weird mood. You feel wrong being happy after reading something like that.
Okay.
It's one of the, like, that's what I feel like. If something sad happens, I feel like I'm not allowed to be happy. Because I'm like being happy despite something that's bad
You're
happens.
sympathetic.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
I feel it's sort of that shit like puts me in a fucked mood for like ages.
Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't read it then. The Alienist is very similar like that, but yeah.
Is it like a what did you say? Like a criminal psychology?
It's like back in the 19th century, like set America as well. And it's about the first season is about this guy who goes around killing like ladyboys, and when I say ladyboys, I mean like. Back then that boys would dress up as girls, and be like prostitutes, so, like kids like from like 10 to 15 would be like prostitutes, and this guy would like kill them and cut their limbs off and like cut their dicks off and everything like that, and it's just like it was just fucking weird.
Like, do you know that whole story of like Jack the Ripper and stuff?
Yeah,
I didn't know how fucked it was.
Oh, it's fucked.
Like, apparently there's, like, photos, the photos of his last victim.
Yeah.
And, like, he literally, like, fucking, like, took her apart.
Oh, my...
Like, skinned her face and stuff. And, like, cut her tits off.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, it's pretty.
Maybe something to talk about.
That's a good note to end on. Hey.
Yeah. Woo!
So thanks for listening, guys. Happy sleep.
Enjoy your meals. Yeah. Enjoy your sleep.
And thanks for listening to us before dinner. Enjoy your meatloaf.
No, but thank you for listening to the Spare Room podcast. This is episode 4.
Episode 4.
So, like, we're getting there.
We're on a roll.
Even if, like, I don't know, because I don't really watch views. I don't look for that.
If I go and, like, listen to our podcast, I just check out the views.
Yeah.
We listen, like, there's like 100 view difference between our first and second episode or something. That's which right. I expected. But, yeah, we have viewers that have watched each one, and they wait for them to come out. Fucking thanks,
and I'm
guys.
sorry that the last episode wasn't out as quickly as it was, just because I'm a busy fucking man.
Yeah,
and
I'm definitely not editing. So
yeah, I edit them and I try and upload them and everything like that.
So we're aiming for Thursday.
Yeah, we're aiming for Thursday.
Thursday upload. So we record this on So every Thursday there should be a new ep coming up sometime that day.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, we'll leave it there.
I think so.
You'll hear us Thursday. Well, today.
You'll be listening to it today because on Thursday.
Yeah.
Or
later.
We don't know.